Welcome to the TCC Library's online tutorials. In this tutorial, you will learn how to check and correct a citation from an automatic citation generator. If you don't know how to find an auto-generated citation, please see our video on database tools for retrieving citations from library databases and our tutorial on CBIB for generating citations for web pages. Both are available on our library tutorials page, accessible under research guides via the TCC Library's website. Now, you will see how to check auto-generated citations against official guidelines and make sure that they're correct before including them in a class assignment. This video uses APA citations as an example, but the steps it covers can also be applied to other citation styles. Always use a citation style indicated in the directions for your course assignments and contact your instructor if you aren't sure which citation style to use. Here we have an automatically generated citation from a library database. Before including it in a class assignment, I want to make sure it's correct. First, we must determine what type of source it is. We can see here that this article, Strategically Locating Wildlife Crossing Structures for Florida Panthers Using Maximal Covering Approaches, was published in Transactions in GIS. I can click Transactions in GIS further down the page under Source, which tells me that the publication type is an academic journal. If you don't see a link to the source, try a web search for the title and see what information you can find. Now that I've identified my source type, I can copy my citation and paste it into a Word document, and then check to see what, if any, corrections I need to make. I can do this by using the resources in TCC citation guides. You can access these through the Research Guides link on the TCC Library's website and then scrolling down to Citation Guides. Since I copied the APA citation, I'm going to use the APA guide. The first place I can check is this PDF, APA Citation Guide 7th edition. This guide has a table of contents that show you where to go to cite different sources. My source is a journal article, so I'm going to skip down to page 8, which is where the table of contents says, is the start of the journal article section. Here we can see the format for a journal article citation and some examples. This will allow us to do a side-by-side comparison with our database-generated citation and see if it needs any corrections. Both the example and our database-generated citation start out with the author's last names and first initials. There is an ampersand, or and sign, between the second to last and last author. Periods go after the author's initials. Next, we have the year in parentheses followed by a period. After that, we have the article title. If we look at the format and examples on the APA guide, we can see that article titles follow sentence case. Only the first letter of the title, the first letter of the subtitle, if there is a subtitle, proper nouns and abbreviations are capitalized. The rest of the letters are lowercase. To correct our citation, we must change all except the first capital letter in this article title and the first letter in Florida to lowercase letters. The article title should end with a period. Last, we have location information. The journal title is italicized and capitalized following regular capitalization rules for titles and is followed by a comma. The volume number is also italicized. The issue number following the volume number without any spaces and appearing in parentheses is not italicized. The closed parentheses are followed by a comma. Then we have the page numbers written as number and followed by a period. At the end of our citation, we have the DOI, or Digital Object Identifier, link if available. In summary, the only thing we had to do to fix this auto-generated citation was correct the sentence casing in the article title. You can now double-space the citation, add a hanging indent, and include it in a class assignment. This citation did not have many errors, but some auto-generated citations require more work. Here is another auto-generated journal citation from Gale Academic OneFile. This citation is missing page numbers, so you should check the PDF of the article for them and see if there are page numbers listed there. The link at the end is also not a DOI link. In most cases, APA does not want you to include database links and citations, only DOI links or web links accessible to anybody online. To correct this citation, we would have to fix the sentence casing in the title, add page numbers if available, delete this database link, and include a DOI link if available. By going to Download and checking the PDF, we can see the DOI and page numbers listed at the bottom of the page. Here is the original citation and the corrected citation. You can see that I took the DOI number from the PDF and put it into DOI link format. This video used journal articles from 2 library databases as examples. However, different source types may have slightly different formats. Here in the APA guide, we can see that newspapers and some magazine articles require a month and day in addition to the year, in parentheses, because these are published more frequently than journal articles. Web pages also require this date format. Also note that web page titles are italicized, whereas the website the web page appears on is not italicized. Similarly, book titles are italicized while the publisher is not. Citing a chapter in an edited book, or citing an online encyclopedia entry, requires you to correctly format both the chapter or article title and the book title separately. If you'd like to know more about locating different article types in our databases, please see our videos on newspapers, magazines, and journals in the Library Tutorials Research Guide. For more information, please contact a TCC librarian.